Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So today we're going to go through a rundown of multiple candidates in the 2020 Republican primary as if they ran against the incumbent president Donald Trump. Also upcoming, I'm going to have some updated 2020 election predictions as I did yesterday, and we're going to see how this all works out. So today off, we're going to start off with John Kasich, and we're going to lead into other candidates later on, such as Ted Cruz. But for right now, we're going to start off with Governor John Kasich from the state of Ohio. So starting off on the western coast, I always start there, but actually let's start off in Iowa. So completely disregard the electoral vote count. That doesn't mean anything. It kind of reflects how many delegates are in each state, but it really doesn't mean anything. We're just looking at statewide wins and who would ultimately win the primary. Respective home states, Trump would win. New York, Ohio we'll come back to. But Iowa, I think that could be a very strong showing for the president. It would test his popularity. 70% of Republicans still agree with the president's track, so I'm thinking he's going to win Iowa. But after that, comment up in New York, I see a pathway for victory for Kasich to win up in New Hampshire. Now we go to the Nevada primary. That would pretty much be a blowout for Trump, along with South Carolina. Some more obvious states, pretty much across the entire South, Kasich would not really have that much of a pathway to victory. Being someone who's not a Cruz-type candidate, someone who can really only appeal to the Rust Belt, I see the states in the South easily going for the president, as they did back in 2016. Going over to New Mexico, we'll actually come back to that one. That one was a state that was after many candidates dropped out. But West Virginia, this is pretty much safe Trump. So also safe Trump area would be my home state of Maryland, my home state of Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. A number of these states would be safe for Donald Trump. But I believe that John Kasich could carry D.C. I also think he would carry Vermont. Massachusetts has a very liberal Republican vote, although Donald Trump did exceptional there. I'm thinking it could be a possibility for a Kasich pickup. Same thing up in Maine. I think that Kasich could possibly pick up their electoral votes. As for his home state, I'm also going to give his home state to Kasich's home state to himself because I believe that he would carry the voters. But Connecticut, Rhode Island, states that Donald Trump paid heavy attention to, even though many of his critics told him not to, still see a possibility for a Trump victory there. Up in Minnesota and across the Rust Belt, it depends. I believe that states like Wisconsin, I think that could flip for Kasich, but I think Michigan and Minnesota are probably going to stay. With Trump and Minnesota flipping from the Rubio column going to Trump, because I don't necessarily see a Kasich appeal that well to Minnesota voters the same way Rubio did. Indiana, Vice President Mike Pence's home state, I believe that one would go to Donald Trump. Illinois, that one could be a little bit closer. I mean, it all depends, but Florida, Virginia, these are all states that are going for the president. Missouri, another state I think Donald Trump would carry. As for Texas, though, I think the anti-Trump resentment amongst the Republican Party would be enough to give Kasich a victory there. Oklahoma, though, I'm thinking that Donald Trump would hold on to his voters. Kansas, I think Kasich would carry. Nebraska, I think Trump would be able to carry Nebraska again. South Dakota, Montana, North Dakota and Colorado don't really have primaries, so we won't fill in those states. Well, they do, but it comes down to where the state wants to go. Across the western coast, that's probably going to be safe Trump territory. Idaho and Wyoming, even though Ted Cruz did a great showing there, I'm still thinking Trump would carry those, along with Illinois. I think since he won it back in 2016, it would be an easy victory. Utah, though, I think that Kasich would carry Utah by a narrow margin. Arizona, New Mexico are pretty much lost causes for him. Alaska, I think, would go to Kasich, and Hawaii would go to Trump. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all later today.